Can I please invite Shishir sir to come up with me and let's raise an inquiry into what should be the outcome of education. So that's the next inquiry. Like we were having a lot of talks about, so let me just establish a couple of things. See, I've been talking to you in breaks. It's very normal to compare one conference to another. See, if we want to just do the kind of conferences always happening, then we are not doing anything innovative. I told you I'm experimenting, and I'll experiment hard till the time something new can come up. Thank you, students. Thank you, I appreciate. And so we will, and I am not committed to just replicate what other people have already done and what other people are already doing. And yet I'm not saying what they are doing is wrong or bad. I'm saying that's already being done. Let's do new things so the new results can be produced. You know, we all know by taking the same action, we cannot produce new results. So we have to take different action to produce different results. So in this session, Shishir and I will take you into an inquiry into what should be the outcome of education system. Where is who is the person we call educated? And this session will only go forward if you answer, if you participate in the conversation. Another thing that before we get into an inquiry is, see, this conference is not a solution. So we are not proposing you solution. This conference is an inquiry into what is the problem. See, a lot of people are giving a lot of solutions, but those solutions are not fitting because we are not identifying the problem right. Maybe we are not able to identify what is the problem. So in the Rajiv sir's session, he was talking about Lord Macaulay. Do you know what Lord Macaulay said? And again, I'm not blaming Lord Macaulay, sir. Lord Macaulay, I'm just saying, do you know what he said? Do you know what he said when he introduced a new system? I mean, do you know about it? Any one of you? I'm sure you know, so you can say, what did he say? When he was bringing in a reform to this education system that we are into, what did he say? Yeah, somebody covered and we got to take it forward from there, yeah.
You just wanted me to say what Macaulay said?
Yeah.
Basically, when Macaulay came, his job was to research the education system in India. He did that and he found very good things for India, but not for his people back there in England.
Right.
So he said, let's break the system down and bring out workers for our factories back in England. So all the good things, he said, let's make sure the guys here, if we really want them to be our servants, we somehow develop the sense of inferiority of their own culture in them.
Right.
Including their education, their moral values, their eating habits, their dressing sense, everything. Briefly, that's what he did.
Perfect. So, yeah. This mic.
Lord Macaulay said that I have traveled across the country and I have never seen such a rich culture, such a rich system, that unless and until we start or create a feeling of disrespect for their own culture, we will never win this country. And we need to introduce a new system, our Western education, so that they start hating their own culture, their own language, their own education system. And that's how we can break, and once they start reposing confidence in the Western culture, we will actually win. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very well, sir. Thank you very much. Does anybody else would like to add into that?
Anybody wants to add? What did in Lord Macaulay's statement, there were two things that he clearly mentioned.
So, as he said, that he implemented the system. And there was a system in England which they implemented here. So I want to tell you this fact. In England, there was no system of mass education. In England, there was no education system for the masses. It was only for the elite. Elite class, we call them. I'm bad with English. They actually learn from us how this country, like we name this country as सोने की चिड़िया. तो सोने की चिड़िया जो शब्द है या नाम है वो कहाँ से आया था? इंडिया में सोना पैदा नहीं होता सर. जो सोने की चिड़िया का जो संबोधन था, that symbol is used because India was very good in the agriculture and they were very good in the economy also, and this export actually. So they used to export agriculture products, and in return they used to take gold only. So in that statement, there was the one thing. I traveled all over the India. I could not find a beggar. I could not find a thief. This country is so rich, so rich. Not rich in terms of only the wealth, not only in terms of wealth only, actually in terms of the values. There was no thief, there was no beggar. That was the one part. So in that is almost 180 years before 1835. So in that state, in that age, India was at that stage. No beggar, not from any Indian author जो अपने देश की बुराई करना चाहता है, ज़्यादा तारीफ करना चाहता है, उसने लिखा है. Now that was the system we had. The system was the system of education. In 1835, our country was 90% literate, more than 90% literate. And in 1947, when they left, India was 27% literate.
So you said that India was 95% literate back in 1835. And now India is 27.
When they left, it was 27%
So when
literate.
Britishers left India, India was just 27% literate. So as per their record, so what happened? I mean, what happened that suddenly from 95% literacy, it came down to 27%? So what do you think happened? What do you think happened at that point of time? So you can answer, what do you think happened? That India being 95% literate came down to 27% literacy. I mean, anybody, instead of talking to each other, if you can answer, if you can ask for mic, stand up and answer, let's brainstorm, let's talk about it. What do you think could have happened?
They changed the parameter of literacy only.
They've changed the parameter of?
Literacy.
Absolutely bang out there. So what shifted is, they changed the parameter. What parameters they changed? Very good. I mean, fantastic. So somebody just said English, right? Yeah. More things they changed. So it's not that literacy went down from 95% to 27%. It's just the parameter changed. You want to take it? So in ancient India, so tell me something. It's an inquiry to ask. एक किसान जो पढ़ नहीं सकता और लिख नहीं सकता, लेकिन हम सबका पेट भर सकता है, क्या आप उसे एजुकेटेड नहीं कहेंगे? Tell me, इसका आंसर हाँ या ना में है. क्या आप उसे एक यहाँ पे एक किसान व्यक्तित्व का व्यक्ति यहाँ पर आए, लेकिन उसे पढ़ना नहीं आता हो, लिखना नहीं आता हो, इंग्लिश में बोलना नहीं आता हो, ये मॉडर्न कपड़े पहनने नहीं आते हो, इन डिजिटल चीज़ों का इस्तेमाल करना नहीं आता हो, लेकिन उसको
Excuse me.
लेकिन उसको
I think the rate of education was counted as a skill-based learning.
आप थोड़ा माइक दूर रख के बोलेंगे तो आवाज़ साफ आएगी.
I think at that time the rate of education was counted as a skill-based learning.
As a
Skill-based learning.
skill-based value.
Skill-based, yes.
I got it. So, but माइक एक मिनट वापस करेगा. So, क्या आपको लगता है कि कृषि करना, खेती करना, या फिर बढ़ई का काम आना, या पशुपालन आना, या मत्स्य पालन आना, क्या ये सब स्किल नहीं है? क्या ये सब यूजफुल स्किल्स नहीं है? आई रियली वांट यू टू पार्टिसिपेट. से व्हाटएवर दैट यू थिंक.
So I'm a qualified engineer. I'm a qualified engineer from IIT Roorkee. So I'm also trained to be engineer. That's a profession. So how come, see that's my next point. How could that profession of agriculture or any other profession was demeaned? That's how they dominated us. They ensured that we feel inferior so that we can accept their language, their system. That's how they dominated us. That was the second part of the Macaulay's statement on that day.
And so, and again, I mean, I'm sure the place that you must be going is that, we are here to blame Britishers. No, I'm not. So, maybe what they designed was great for that time. It was fantastic. I mean, great. I mean, what a system they built. They ruled the entire world with that system. Awesome for that time. Let's take a simple analogy. जैसे हम गरम कपड़े खरीदते हैं और हम उन गरम कपड़ों को विंटर्स में यूज़ करते हैं, राइट? हम उन गरम कपड़ों को समर्स में तो नहीं यूज़ करते. हम एसी समर्स में यूज़ करते हैं, विंटर में तो नहीं यूज़ करते, जो एसी ठंडा करते हैं. So, like that system, they built because there was an industrial revolution happening that point of time. And industrial revolution के लिए skill set की ज़रूरत थी. और जो इस skill set की industrial revolution के time पे ज़रूरत थी, वो थी mathematical skills and language skills. उनको एक जैसे लोग उनके order को follow करने वाले चाहिए थे, जिससे कि वो एक जगह बैठकर पूरे world में same order pass on करके काम करा सके. Now the time has changed. From industrial revolution, we have come to the digital revolution. But the education system is the same. We still think the people who know certain skills are educated. And by the way, I'm not trying to give you a solution. We are just raising a question in your head. And I don't have an answer. Possibly, this kind of a conversation, we can come up with some kind of an answer that, we are looking at. What happened? Why are we just accepting the whole thing, just like that? Sorry?
See, when we started this idea of this conference came only from this question only. And I don't have the answer of that question. If I ask, who is educated? The subject we started is who you can call is educated. Yeah, please, sir. Please.
I can cite an example. In a jungle, there was a shepherd, and he had 100 sheep. There was a mentor. One mentor and one professor. So professor asked him, he gave the book to the shepherd. Asked us to please see this book. Shepherd replied that there are all काले अक्षर है भैंस बराबर कुछ भी नहीं इस पे सारे पेज एक जैसे हैं nothing is there. So definitely professor asked the mentor that you see these are uneducated, illiterate people, they don't know, as you have been Macaulay's definition of education. So immediately that shepherd called the sheep Rajo, Shamu, he named all the 100 sheep different name, and they came. The sheep, different sheep, he could recognize, his sound could be recognized by the sheep. So the question was raised, you have seen his skill, that do you know, professor was asked this question, that do you know about this sheep? All sheep, he said all the sheep are same. There's a very minor difference of color, but almost everything, all their sound is same, everything is same. They speak in the same way. So he was replied by the mentor that you see, according to you, all the sheep are same, but according to Schaeffer, all are different. So this is the skill. This is, we only differentiate that who are certified, done, they know some arithmetic sums or they know how to speak English. We say they are educated people. But actually education is skill. So that was established in that article that we should change, paradigm shift should be there for the definition of education. So this is what I wanted, that this is education.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so what do you really distinguish between a degree and education? So degree can be a different thing, and education can be a different thing. And when people have different kind of skills, that can also be included in education. Yes? No? I mean, are we really doing in day-to-day life? So people who have skills, are we really looking at them as educated? Sorry? Just mic is coming. I mean, just wait for the mic.
Unless students are really prepared for life, education is not meaningful. That not necessarily the external needs, inner transformation is also essential need at one point or other. That means they should be innately happy with what they're doing. They should be educated, they should be skillful. At the same time, they should be happy with what they're doing. Just by having skill and by doing something will bring us food and everything that we need externally, but it doesn't bring internal innate happiness. So I feel someone educated is someone who's truly happy by doing what he really wants to do and learning and being there where he wanted to be. That is, the skill is involved. Skill is involved in there, but there's more than the skill.